This is the Kindy Rockstars Podcast, Season 4. Bringing you incredibly talented singers, artists, creators, and producers in the genre of children's music. I'm your host, Patrick Adams. Each episode will feature songs, albums, videos, or live performances, along with great stories from the artists themselves. Kindy Rockstars Season 4 is proud to be supported and sponsored by Waltmania Public Relations, serving the family entertainment community for more than 20 years. And now, on with the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Kindy Rockstars. I am thrilled to have on the show with me today, Andy Zamenes, but you may know him better as Andy Z. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Patrick.
Thank you for coming on. All right, well, let's learn about you, your first-time guest on the show. So tell us about yourself and how you got into making music for kids.
So, I've always been into music ever since I was a little kid, and I just started with piano when I was really little, and then guitar became my love, and then my grades went down early high school, and then I kind of found a balance, but yeah, I didn't end up doing music for a living until I discovered children's music. So I feel extremely blessed to be able to do this for a living and for as long as I have been, and I know that it's not a normal thing, even for people who are very popular, in the Kindy rock world, in Kindy music and children's music. They don't always get that chance. So I just feel blessed to have the chance and to still be able to do it after all these years.
So what was the moment? When did you know that the children's music was for you? Was there like a performance that you did or an opportunity that you had, and then afterwards he's like, all right, yeah, this is it. This is what I want to do.
There was a moment. There was the moment. I was, and actually it started off when I was doing, I had just got laid off from a tech job, and that's what I was doing. That was what I was doing to pay the bills. And then nighttime as a moonlighting as a musician, of course. And I wasn't doing children's music yet, but I was doing singer-songwriter stuff, and then I had an alternative rock band together too. And I was doing an open mic. I was hosting an open mic and doing an acoustic show at a place called Canvas Cafe in San Francisco. And my friend Seth, who later played drums with me for a while, he said, "Hey, my kid goes to this daycare, see, and there's a music guy there, and he's not doing very well right now. He's having some health issues and stuff, and they're looking for somebody to fill in. So what do you think? Would you like to do it?" And I go, "Well, I don't know. I mean, I've never really done. What do I do? Like Twinkle Twinkle? I mean, what do I do anyway? And so I said, well, sure, I'll do it. I just bring my guitar, right, and I'll learn some kids songs and do that. So I did it. And I swear to God, it was like one of those moments where it's like, oh, the sky opens up, because the kids were just incredibly receptive, and so receptive that they were just, it was kind of like magnetism, they were drawn to me and I was drawn to them, and they were like, it was just this beautiful synergy. And, this was my first time ever doing this. And I said, you know what? I think we got something here. I think, I mean, I love doing this and just the energy I feel. And then so kind of reminded me of really what I loved doing when I was a kid and throughout my whole life. I loved telling stories. I loved making other kids in my classroom or younger kids, laugh. I liked doing all that, and I loved playing music. And so it was like, hey, all of a sudden lights went off, and I was like, I could put those all together and do voiceovers too, because I used to do voices and things like that. So I'm like, this is great. So it just started off with a simple demo that became my first album, and then it went off from there, and I started creating audio plays, I guess you'd call them, audio play albums. The AndyLand series is what they are, and it's basically a story of AndyLand and an imaginary world with characters and places to visit and things like that. And it was a three album series, and it was actually what ended up putting me on the map. But as far as radio goes, my very first album is what put me on the map because it was just traditional songs for kids, and it caught on really well on Pandora for some reason. So uh, that to this day, Pandora is where I get most of my royalties from. So so it's kind of cool that it ended up working out that way. But yeah, so that's how it happened. And then I just took the ball, went with it, and I was doing music and even doing music teaching at preschools and things like that. And then I moved to libraries and then city events and festivals, and playing for mostly young kids, three to eight, toddlers 3 to 8, and then once in a while playing for the older ones. So
So
yeah.
how long after that first transformative performance did you end up getting an album pulled together?
Uh, yeah, that one, the first one, Pockets, that was actually what turned out to be the quickest one, and I ended up finishing it and turning it out probably like 6 months, 7 months from when, because I was already looking for ways to. I had gotten laid off from the job basically, as so many people did when the dot-com kind of crash happened. So I did that, and I said, you know what? I'm not getting any younger. I'm going to try make it in music. So that's when I went on the whole thing of doing open mics and doing all this other stuff and playing with my band and stuff. And that's how it came to, uh, so that's why this opportunity came to me. I said, you know what? I'm just really going to go with it. And so that's when I really started getting serious about putting things together and contacting schools and doing things like that, and actually making my little demo a real CD, a real album. So
You
that's
talked about your AndyLand series. Do your albums typically have themes to them? How do you kind of pull ideas together to create?
I'd say the two or three the three of the albums that I have are basically collections, collections of songs, right? Pockets was like mostly traditional stuff with a few of my own originals put in there. The first album I ever recorded is Andy Z, and then the AndyLand series. But then I also uh, ended up doing a Halloween audio play, which actually is the Grand Scream of Things, and that one is actually meant for older kids as well. And that one was the one that got us into Austin City Limits Festival, and it was produced by, I don't know if you remember, Tor Hyams, produced by him, and and I just had all these awesome musicians on it. It took me a year and a half to do the album. It was so involved because it was basically like it's like a movie as an audio play. It was basically like had the whole script, and I brought people in to do character voices, and I brought in horn sections and stuff like that. People who played with like Etta James and Todd Rundgren and stuff around here, like the local heavies around here, and it was just incredible. But so that was another audio play, but it was to a whole other level. It wasn't just like it was a story. It wasn't just like, well, this is a tour of AndyLand and this is where we're going now, kind of thing. And then I did classic songs and traditional tunes, which is basically what it is: classic songs and traditional tunes. And then I put together a collection of some of my most popular songs from the AndyLand series, because I found, probably too late, that it wasn't easy for people to play my songs, so to speak. It wasn't, it's like, oh, it's an audio play? Okay, well, maybe. So I didn't quite know how to go about it back then, but that was a long time ago. So I released Camp AndyLand, which is some of my most popular songs from the AndyLand series. And then since then, I've just been doing I've done a few EPs and I've done some singles. And now I'm trying to get a full length album out. So we'll see what happens there. So it's
Oh,
a
and
little
then
crazy, but it's
can I
good.
just acknowledge what a great Halloween title, Grand Scream of Things is?
Thank you.
Love it.
Yeah, and it's I mean, completely, the whole script is kind of tongue in cheek. I just, it was a stream of consciousness thing with me, and I'm just so glad that I was able to get it out. But I tell you, it was a challenge, but I'm so glad it turned out the way it was. It actually uh, ended up getting. Are you familiar with Funky Kids Radio Awards?
Yeah,
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 so it ended up getting runner up for audio story of the decade, I believe is
nice.
what it was. Yeah. And I'm like, well, that's kind of cool because I thought it never just really for as good as it was being reviewed and things like that, it never really caught on as much as some of the other stuff. And I was just like, well, that's kind of cool that it got kind of acknowledged for something like that. And so that's the claim to the grand scheme of things, fame. But it was, and it also got me into the Austin City Limits Festival, so we played there. So that was cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, today we have a song feature for everyone. So it is called the Monkey Dance, which some people might be familiar with. But tell us how you decided to work with this song.
Well, the my band and I, we just, once in a while we try to do some other songs, other people's songs, other not even necessarily children's musician or kindy songs or children's music artist songs, but just trying to mix it up for band shows basically. So I have a handful of band shows. Most of them are solo, but I have a handful of band shows a year, and so Monkey Dance was like really a favorite there, and it was like our version of it basically. And I was like, God, it just has so much such great energy with the band doing it. And typically I've never gotten my band, my whole band, my like performing band, they're basically my live performance band, never gotten them all in together at once, together on a recording. It's always been, well, I'll bring you, can I bring you in for this? Can I bring you in for that? But never the whole band. So this is the first one where I said, this seems like the best time to release something like this. So yeah, the classic Wiggles tune, and we did it. We recorded the basics, the drums and the bass, at a place called Timber Trout Studios in Oakland, and the guy named Casey Bowman actually, and he's incredible. I've heard him on some really high profile kids and adult albums, and I'm like, man, and you're just gonna do it? He goes, yeah, man, I just really want to do it. So we went over there and we put the drums and the bass down, and I had the basics already and stuff like that. And then we came in, did the vocals, and what came out was basically what I was hoping would come out of it, was like the energy from the show, but just really in a tight, fun recording basically. So that's what that's why I did the Monkey Dance, and it's doing okay, but it's what's really cool is, for some reason, I don't know how it happened, but on Pandora I was kind of looking at how things are going with it, because you want to see if things are getting listened to, and it's got like over 10,000 streams on Pandora already. And that doesn't usually happen. That doesn't happen with my singles always, Sometimes it's like, well, what happened? Did nobody listen to it, or whatever? But I was really stoked about that, and then and it's doing okay on Spotify and the others. But I was very encouraging that it did that, because I think it's a really fun song, and I think it's kind of one of the better produced songs I put out. So I'm pretty happy about it. Very happy about it. So
excellent. And the name of your band is?
Well, it's the AndyLand Band.
Love it.
Not to be self-serving or anything, but I mean, if I call it AndyLand, it's got the AndyLand Band, okay? So yeah, and it's the AndyLand Band over the years has expanded and contracted. Basically, it all depends. But lately, it's been mostly like 3 people or 4 people. But way back when I wasn't when I wasn't so worried about like paying everybody and doing everything like that, or having to get everybody on the same page, and just, how hard that can be to get everybody on the same page to do these kinds of things, especially when it's not their main gig, when you're just kind of bringing them in because they're talented and they're willing to do it. Yeah, so I've had as big a band as like 10 people, like including like 2 dancers and stuff like that, to like 3, so power trio to like, practically an orchestra on stage. So yeah, so it's really cool to kind of capture a little bit of AndyLand Band on my recording. So.
Excellent. Well, let's check it out. Here is The Monkey Dance by Andy Z.
We're gonna do the We're gonna do the snake. The snake. Is it alright? It's alright. It's alright. We're gonna jump to the front and back. We're gonna jump to the front and back. We're gonna jump to the front and back. It's alright. It's alright. Let's do them all. We're gonna do the monkey. Do the elephant. The tiger. Do the snake. It's alright. It's alright. Woo!
And that was the monkey dance. All right, Andy, let people know where they can stream, download, purchase that song. I know you mentioned Pandora, but let everybody else know where they can find it, how they can find and connect with you, and what else is going on with Andy Z.
Okay, well, so you can download, you can stream it. So you can download and stream like a Bandcamp. I have a Bandcamp profile or whatever, a Bandcamp store, I guess you could say. And you can do all of it through AndyZ.com. But you can also listen on, I think, right still, Pandora and Spotify are my most popular. I'm most popular on those two platforms. But I'm also on, Apple Music and Amazon Music and all the other ones as well. So that's where you can find me. But if you want to actually purchase ones, you can either do it through my website, AndyZ.com, or you can do it Bandcamp. Yeah. So as far as where to find me, things like that, and I'm on YouTube too, and I have videos and things like that. So, and as far as what I'm doing, what I've got in the works. A lot of stuff I've got in the works. And I just recorded a song by somebody else. Actually, I recorded her singing it, her very first song. But we're going to be on rolling out that one probably this summer, I would think. But I also have a medley that I'm working on, which is Mr. Sun / Good Day Sunshine. So that's another one that we love to do when we play live shows with the band. So it actually also is one of those AndyLand Band recordings. So I'm excited about that, and it's still in the works, but it will be out probably. We might even shoot for summer solstice, maybe, to just hey, Mr. Sun, right? So I mean, you gotta aim for some kind of special day to do it, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm gonna do that, and then I really need to record a whole new Andy Z album, and I probably have about 2 or 3 albums worth of stuff of songs to do right now, but just the time. But I do plan on getting very serious about doing that, because I haven't recorded a full-length album in a while. So that's what's in the works right now.
Oh, very good. So excited to hear that medley when it comes out, and best of luck getting the album pulled together. And thank you for coming on the show. It was really great to meet you, and look forward to talking to you again soon.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Patrick, and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
You got it.